my friends, see how they glisten. See this one shine, how he smiles in the light. My friend, my faithful friend. Speak to me, friend. Whisper, I'll listen. I know, you've been locked out of sight all these years, like me, my friend. Well, I've come home to find you waiting. Home, and we're together, and we'll do wonders, won't we? You there, my friend, come, let me hold you. Now, with a sigh, you grow warm in my hand, my friend, my clever friend. Rest now, my friend, soon I'll unfold you. Soon you'll know splendors you never have dreamed all your days, my lucky friend. Till now your shine was merely silver. Friend, you shall drip rubies, you'll soon drip precious rubies. At last, my right arm is complete again.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Inside GCT. This edition, also known as the Pumpkin Spice Latte edition, or Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, which opens on October 21st here at Germantown Community Theatre. And we are joined today by the actor playing Sweeney himself, Kevar Moffitt. Thank you for joining us.
Sure.
And Eileen Kuo, the music director, and Kell Christie, our staging director.
Hello.
So thank you all for joining us. And you just heard Kevar singing so beautifully. Very wonderful job.
Thank you.
Kell, thank you for playing. Very wonderful job, as always. I mean, Eileen.
Wow.
See, I promised you that it's no big deal because I will mess up more than you will. So there you have it. Kevar, kick us off. Tell us about playing Sweeney Todd.
What about it?
Sure. Tell us the story and what it is for you to play that role.
Like the story of the musical?
I would love to hear that story.
Okay, so you got this man who was married, had a baby, and then the judge in London where he lived was like, no, that one's mine. And he sends Sweeney to, where did we?
We decided it was probably
Botany Bay,
Botany
that's
Bay.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So sends Sweeney away and tries to, well, I don't want to get too graphic. Okay, so anyway, hey, do you really want me to keep doing this? Because it's not been great thus far.
Would you like to phone a friend?
Through a series of events,
There it is.
the woman who Sweeney had to leave becomes thoroughly disheartened and takes
right.
poison and leaves behind a daughter, and the judge takes her in as his ward, and then Sweeney comes home hoping to gain revenge and get his daughter back, and therein the trouble lies.
See, you should have asked Kell.
Well, that you have friends. You could phone a friend.
These are my friends.
That's right.
I was not told about lifelines.
Well, I didn't tell you much at all, so here we go. Ladies, you both directed this somewhat in tandem. Will you talk to us about that process? How did you start down the journey of doing Sweeney Todd, and how has that worked throughout the process to today?
So, Eileen and I think, are great collaborators. We agree on most things. And it really began, which is not always the case, with the casting. Eileen made sure we videoed everyone, we talked about everyone at length, and we came up with a team that I think we were really, really, really proud of and really excited by. And it went on from there. We knew that it was going to be a smaller scaled version. It's not purely a concert version, but the emphasis is definitely on the music. And so we just really wanted to make sure we had the voices that would sound amazing and treat this amazing piece of work with the respect and the talent that it deserves. Would you agree?
I would agree with that, yeah. And I feel so lucky to have been able to work with Kell throughout this process. It was originally conceived, that I would, be in charge of the music and Kell would do the staging, but I feel like she and I have just been perfect partners from the start, being able to just have a conversation about how we envision the show and how we want to move it forward and tell the story and feature our beautiful voices.
With it being an emphasis on the music, Eileen, would you talk to us about the orchestra being on the set and the complications of that and the successes of that too?
Oh, sure. Well, I think, we're fortunate to be able to have the orchestra on stage because I think it's great for people to just kind of be there in the room and just, bask in the, presence of these wonderful musicians and experience their talent, right there in person.
And they're truly incredible musicians.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, truly. I feel like I've been handed the keys to a Ferrari. I mean, that's what it's like to play with these musicians and be in the crazy position of conducting them and being the music director for this incredible show. I really don't know what to do with all the talent that I have. I mean, it's just amazing. But yeah, so as far as having the orchestra on stage, I mean, I think that's a wonderful thing that we've been able to do with this. But the challenges would just be that it's certainly tricky to stage a production like this where so much of the real estate is taken up with the orchestra, and we're packed in there like sardines as it is.
How many are on that orchestra platform? How many people do you have playing with you?
It was supposed to be 8, but we kicked one off the island, so it's 7, but the 8th is on the floor next to me.
So there's 8 musicians total in general?
Including me, yes.
Yeah. Which is bigger than you usually have here
That's
at GCT.
correct. That's absolutely correct. And especially when we put you on the stage. I mean, that's absolutely incredible.
I really love that. I love that the orchestra is central, literally and figuratively, to what happens.
Kevar, as an actor in this process with the emphasis on the music, what have rehearsals been like?
We really, since it was supposed to be concert style, we really focused mainly on the music, which has been really a blessing because this music is just so difficult that if you don't have the music, you don't have the show. And so once we got that solidified, we were able to add in the movement and the staging part. And I'm always a big fan of solidifying music before you try to add too much more. And that's what we did during this process, and it's really worked out for us.
You talked about having 8 orchestra members on the stage. The cast is kind of sizable too, correct?
Right.
Do you know what's the exact count? I can't remember.
107.
That's incredible.
I have no idea. How many people is it really?
20-something?
It's got to be 20-something. I don't know. Yeah.
We do challenge ourselves during the summer and try to put 42 children on this space, but I think 20 may be pretty high up there for adults. Can you talk to us about your cast? Who are some standouts, or who are playing some of the title roles? And we know Kevar, and who's Joanna?
Evie Bennett is Joanna. I don't know the work she's done here before. I was last in a play with her myself, though, at Theater Memphis. She's a real trooper. And she was in Into the Woods with me. I think she's done Titus Andronicus.
Okay.
We've got Julie Reinbold, who is a teacher at Ridgeway High School, playing Mrs. Lovett. One of my students, Bailey Dumlau, is Toby. Mark Lassiter, I had actually not met before this time, but does he have a music degree? His voice is
I think I remember that from
pretty
auditions.
stunning.
Yeah.
Jacqueline Skoog, who else? Who am I not thinking of?
Rachel Newsom.
Rachel
Yes,
Newsom,
Rachel.
no stranger to this stage. All of them contributing beautifully, not only in their voices, but also their acting talent.
Tell us about your crew. Who did the costumes?
Ashley Capera. Typically when you do a concert version of a show, you dress the principals in something that is kind of like the time period, and the chorus people are usually just in black. They're in concert wear. Well, we asked more of Ashley, and she came up with a really nice blend of things that are not strictly period, but are reminiscent of the period that allow you to sink into sort of this time that's a little far back, but still theatrical. Ellen has done the same thing, Ellen Ingram, with the makeup and wigs, which are super. And all those things together, and then with Dan Capera's beautiful set that moves and allows the actors to move and become parts of the set themselves. It all works nicely.
Before we go on with anything else, I wanted to mention very purposefully that we did not mention Mr. Chase Ring, who is in the cast and is not a stranger to the GCT stage. We just wanted to make that very clear, that it was a purposeful
Omission.
Purposeful omission, yes. Just wanted to get that out there, because I know he's a loyal follower of this program.
Absolutely. And also Paul Scott serves as our antagonist, Judge Turpin.
And he, as I understand, has encamped himself very firmly in the Chase Ring.
Yes, the two of them are
That's
quite
right,
a duo.
That's right. So, all that to be said, as an audience member, what should I expect when I come to see this work? What would you say to someone who, if I don't know Sweeney Todd at all, what's in store for me?
Surprises.
Okay.
Bam. Check that out.
Next.
Oh, me.
Yeah. Well, you should prepare to get your face melted off by the stunning chorus and orchestra, chorus, and to be emotionally exhausted by the end, I would say.
I also think it's a fairly gentle way to introduce people to Sweeney. The storyline is such that it can get kind of disturbing or less so depending on how in your face the staging is. And I think tells the story accurately, but in an appropriate way for a space this small. So I would also, if you're a friend of Sweeney, if you are a fan of the music, then this is a good production to see because the music is front and center. And also, it's usually done on stages, 3-4 times as large as this. And so we've had to be creative with some of the ways that we stage some of the things. So the staging that you expect to see with the big barber shop and a chair that leads to a chute that leads to, we don't have that. There's no way to build that here. So the interesting ways that we solve that problem, I think people would be interested in seeing.
Eileen,
Yes.
the music is so difficult. I know we've talked about this. How did you approach the material with a cast of this many people and this many community members? Many of them did have vocal training, but many of them are community members. How do you approach that very, very difficult material?
Slowly. No. Well, you just break it down and kind of break it into pieces that make sense. If you look at it as a whole and just kind of take this volume of music, it's overwhelming. And so I think what really helped for all of us was just to take it piece by piece and also just kind of help people think about the music in terms of character. One of the beautiful things about Sondheim is that he wrote in a lot of, I guess, the storytelling and artistic aspects of it. So, you know, when people are excited, they're singing higher. When people are ominous, they're singing lower. And the, you know, volume type things correspond with that also. And you see the same thing in the orchestration. I mean, the birds are written into the flute and the clarinet and things like that. So being able to think of the music that way, as, you know, as it applies to sort of real life, as it tells, you know, tells the story of real life, or sort of real the fictional story of Sweeney Todd. But I mean, you know, taking that story to life.
Yeah, the dramatic action is embedded in the music, I would say.
It's another character.
It really
is.
And she really drilled them and taught that she is patience itself.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. This is a very dark musical, very appropriate for this time and season, right? Is there gore?
No, there is literally. People die left and right and indiscriminately, but we are not really using any blood because you don't need it. Again, it's a very theatricalized way to tell the story. So while there are dead bodies in abundance, there's no actual gore to it. I think Sweeney is the first real anti-hero. I think he predates Tony Soprano and Walter White and all of these people that you love and root for, even though you know they're doing things that are just wrong, immoral and wrong, but you see why, and it's very interesting.
On the flip side of that, then, with it being so dark, are there comedic moments? Is there
Thank
levity?
God, yes.
Very funny moments.
There's a tooth pulling.
Oh,
We take out one of Bailey's teeth every night.
oh, fantastic!
Speaking of the no-name Chase Ring,
Oh, my
anytime that boy is on stage, it is the funniest thing you'll see all night. He is so good as Beetle Bamford. Like, crazy good.
Lord. And not to give the ending of Act 1 away, but it's the wittiest gallows humor number I think there is in musical theater. So it's great.
That is wonderful. Well, let's dive in to the famous finishing questions.
Oh.
Okay, so what we do in these last questions, we just go down the line. Tell us the first thing that comes to mind, just the first thing. And I would like to know, what is your favorite color?
Salmon.
Green.
Plaid. It's not really, it's green. It's not plaid, it's green.
Okay, so coming back the other way then, least favorite color. Coming back the other way.
Oh, chartreuse.
Kelly green.
Puce. Ugh.
Puce gets a bad rap.
It does. It's like next door to periwinkle,
Yeah.
I think.
Favorite food?
Macaroni and cheese.
Fried chicken.
Chicken pot pie.
Oh.
Least favorite food? Kel?
Icky stuff. I'm allergic to shrimp, so I would have to say shrimp.
Oh, that's sad.
Eggplant. Just run that into it.
Blue cheese.
Oh, but I love
Oh, I
Give
can't.
it to me.
It burns my nose.
Oh, you learned so much. Kevar, what was the last book you read?
Oh, God, what was the last one I read? It was Cooked by first name Pollan. Michael Pollan.
Michael Pollan. I just watched that
He's
documentary. It's really super
incredible.
good.
Really incredible.
The last book I read was Corrupted by Lisa Scottoline, I think is her name. It was kind of like a John Grisham-like legal thriller with a female lawyer protagonist, which I thought was pretty cool.
I don't remember the title. I'm an avid reader. I'm always reading something, and I don't remember the title offhand. I could pull it up on my phone if I needed to. But let us say that not too long ago, oh shoot, it's a wonderful book. Reasons Not to Commit Suicide, I think is what it's called. It's a book of fiction, and it's kind of like if your mind could be erased. Anyway, it's interesting. Yeah. That's really good.
Kel, what was the last movie that you saw?
Girl on the Train.
The Imitation Game.
Mascots, the new Christopher Guest
that
movie.
really is the last one I've
Oh my
seen.
God,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
him.
Was it good?
It was so
Okay,
funny.
good. 'Cause that's
Have you
some-
seen? If you haven't seen Waiting for Guffman, people watching, go watch Waiting for Guffman. Christopher Guest, Jane Lynch, Eugene Levy, anybody you've ever seen ever.
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine, incredible. Go watch that, and
many
then
of
watch
them are-
Mascots.
Many of them are in Mascots,
Yep,
yeah?
Yes.
Parker Posey, all
Are
that.
all of them in Mascots?
Not all of them, but the majority of that
yeah, yeah.
group of actors.
All right, Kevar, if you were a superhero, what would your super ability be?
Oh, flight, easy. I'll fly hardcore.
I would probably be a shapeshifter of some kind.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Telekinesis, I think. Telepathy?
Tilapia.
Tilapia? Tilapia.
Tilapia.
Tilapia is their superpower. Telepathy and telekinesis, that kind of mind.
I could see that, yeah, absolutely. All of you, I could see that, absolutely. Kell, if someone wrote your biography, what would the title be?
Beautiful, the Kell Christie story. I don't know.
Love it.
That one over there. Why would they write my biography? I think it would be the most boring thing there ever would be to read.
Mind control.
The Kell Christie story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Eileen?
Oh my goodness. The girl with the Van Halen tramp stamp.
Yes, of course.
Fabulous.
Me, probably something like, you can't say that here. That's pretty apropos.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, 2 more questions. Kevar, if you were arrested and charged, what would your criminal charges be?
Probably being drunk or something.
Public
Being
intoxication.
very drunk in public.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I am an attorney, so call me.
That's right. Thanks.
I got you.
Preach.
Oh boy.
Eileen?
Probably something related to property damage due to rampage. Sometimes you just gotta smash everything, you know? So that's
true.
What would be mine.
Almost certainly something to do with driving. I'm a terrible driver. I would not trust me.
But before we get to the last question, I would like to point out that as we started the interview today, Eileen was very nervous,
Oh,
and
stop.
we have
Don't tell.
we have increased in the violence and aggression. And I think if we carried this on for another hour,
Oh, yeah.
it could get ugly.
And
Got
interesting.
goer.
And
Yeah,
very
really.
interesting. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, last question. If you won the lottery, what would you do with your winnings, Kell?
Oh, I have an elaborate plan that I
me
think
too.
of every night before I go to bed. But it would involve paying off my debts, the debts of my family, the debts of my loved ones, a substantial sum to all the neighboring theaters. So you better hope that I do.
Every night.
But I would absolutely, in memory of my late father, start a children's theater program, like for children to come and see grown-up actors performing, professional actors, not unlike they have in Nashville. While we have several great programs that do that and many wonderful opportunities for adults to perform for children and for children to perform, to just have something dedicated to that in his honor and memory, because that's what he was, that was his specialty, that's what I would absolutely do.
Lovely.
That is lovely.
Eileen?
Well, I'd like to say I would be selfless and wonderful like Kell, but what I'd probably do is do every extreme sport, I guess.
Oh.
Skydiving, sailing, diving, bungee jumping, hang gliding.
I shall watch you from the shore.
That's the title of your biography.
She looks like she's having fun.
I shall watch you from the shore. The Kell Christie.
That's right. Me, I guess?
Yes.
I would, because I've promised her this my entire life, build my mother a log cabin, because she's always wanted one. And then I would pay off my debt. And then I would take $1 million, cut that bad boy into 10 slices, live off 100,000 for about 10 years each year. invest the rest of it, then come 10 years later, I'm gonna be throwing cash in everybody's face.
Throwing it.
And you see, that's why none of us will win.
Right.
Because we're not just going to go blow it.
Right.
That's right.
What would you do with it, Dr.
Yeah.
Mr. Michael Miles?
Turn the tables on Dr. Michael Miles.
I would 100% give every bit of it to Germantown Community Theatre.
Oh, God.
Just like that.
Sure.
Whatever.
So with that in mind, what I would like to do is, at the end of every Inside GCT, I let my guest look into the camera and give your best pitch for your show that opens October 21st.
Great.
But let's go down the line and give your best pitch. Kevar.
Which camera?
Oh my God.
Over here?
Check it out. Okay. Come see Sweeney Todd. The music is some of the best music you will ever hear ever in musical theater. It's just from top to bottom, lyrically, musically, beautiful and intelligent, and it makes you think and feel things, because a lot of musicals don't do that now. Plus, we got a really great cast, and this one is tearing it up on the ivories, so I don't think you have a choice.
Oh, fantastic. Eileen, your turn.
Okay. You all need to come see Sweeney Todd in concert here at GCT so that you can hear Kevar's beautiful voice. I truly believe that he is the best Sweeney that you will ever see. So you must come and hear this beautiful voice.
Come see Sweeney Todd. We lift people into the air.
Oh, I love that.
That's the new title of my memoirs.
We lift people in the air.
I don't know.
Kell Christie story. That will be in our 46th season. Get your tickets by calling the GCT box office at 453-7447 or by visiting gctcomeplay.org. Thanks for joining us.